Hopefully, as I go through the presentation here and talk a little bit about my background in Linux and what Linux is and how the lessons that I'm bringing from the Linux world are impacting Solaris, the answer to that question will become a bit more obvious. I think. There we go. All right, so the first point that I'd like to drive home here is that an enormous amount of momentum has been building behind Solaris over the last few years. Right? So if you take a step back and you look at some of these headlines and think about where Solaris was, say, 5 years ago, many of these headlines would have been almost inconceivable, right? But everything over the last few years from the AMD relationship, the Intel relationship, the embrace of x86, the OEM relationships with IBM, Dell, and so forth, partnership with Microsoft around virtualization. Solaris has an enormous amount of momentum building behind it. Actually, my favorite one here is the What's a Linux Guy Doing at Sun. And actually, let me explain a little bit about that. So my background is Linux, right? So when I came to Sun, one of the first questions people had for me was that, right? What's a Linux guy doing at Sun? And hopefully, as I go through the presentation here and talk a little bit about my background in Linux and what Linux is and how the lessons that I'm bringing from the Linux world are impacting Solaris, the answer to that question will become a bit more obvious.
During the course of today's presentations, we'll be making projections and other forward-looking statements regarding expected future financial results and business opportunities. Our actual future results may be very different from our current expectations. We encourage you to read the 10Ks and 10Qs that we file periodically with the SEC. These documents contain a discussion of the risks facing our business, including factors that could cause these forward-looking statements not to come true. We do not currently intend to update these forward-looking statements. In addition, during the course of the conference, we may describe certain non-GAAP financial measures, which should be considered in addition to and not in lieu of comparable GAAP financial measures. For the most directly comparable GAAP financial measures and related reconciliations, please refer to the slides posted on the Sun Analyst Summit 2008 page and the earnings call financial slides and operations analysis, all of which can be found on the investor relations section of our website at sun.com/investors.